All right, check, check. Let me clear my throat. Let me clear my throat. Why is that song stuck in my head for the last 30 years? My wife is always singing apple bottom jeans. Why is that stuck in her head for the last 20 years? Come on, ride the train, it's the choo-choo ride it. What were these school dance songs from the 90s that just rent space in our heads? I don't know, but let me clear my throat. Honestly, let me clear my throat. Hi, everybody. Let's do this shit, huh?
Well, I got a chance here. Let me clear my throat. Come on, y'all, let's go. Have a rest of the day. I hope you don't mind. Say, let me clear my throat.
Why is it so good? Why is it still so good? Maybe just to me. That's an oldie already. That's what oldies sound like. When I was young, oldies were like, in the jungle, the mighty jungle, the lion sleeps tonight. Wee, wee, oh. That was an oldie. When I was a kid, an oldie was like, come on, baby, light my fire. Jim Morrison, high as hell, ripped out of his gourd, dropping all the tablets of LSD. Come on, baby, light my fire. Those are oldies. That shit right there is an oldie. If you're a high school kid right now and you hear, let me clear my throat, but it doesn't sound like an oldie. It doesn't, I don't know. The generational perspectives, they don't make sense anymore. They don't make sense. Tupac was killed in what, 1995, 96? And my current students were born in 2008. So the way 9/11 sounds to my current students is the way Vietnam used to sound to me. Like, oh, that's an old war, huh? And my students hear about 9/11, they're like, that's a really old, ancient conflict, huh? No, not really, kids. I was in college. I remember it. Hey, gather round. The old man's ready to preach. What are we going to do? I mean, seriously. We're not doing this enough. I've missed you. I've missed this. I've missed your scent. What is it? Cool water? By the way, cologne is back. I know I've talked about that, but I got 3 windows in my classroom. I got to crack all of them. We got colliding colognes, and you can't tell a teenager, hey, a little less. Hey, a little less of that. You know, you want to empower them. You do you, but God, you got Curve, you got Cool Water, Hugo Boss is coming in. We still got Jean Paul. What was that one? You remember that one? It was like a bust. The bottle, the squirt bottle was like a bust. Jean Paul Gaultier. You remember that? That smelled good on Vachi. I don't know. What did I wear? Fahrenheit? I still like Fahrenheit. What's hot right now? Any CK1, CKB, CK who, CK thee? There's some Dr. Seuss shit? Folks, I don't want to keep unsubscribing from the emails. Let me start there, all right? Let's jump into some shit. Unsubscribe from the email. I click it. All right. You click it too. Does your inbox have too many emails that you don't care for anymore? I don't even mean in the spam. I mean coming right to you. Now, joshrosenberg81@yahoo.com. I've had that for 20 years, and that's still my go-to. Every morning, I'm checking joshrosenberg81@yahoo.com for 20 years, and the first 8 to 10 emails I get every day are just a bunch of bullshit. The top 7 places to grab a Kanish. I still got, what, Maxim magazine writing to me, trying to get me to subscribe again. 20 ways to make her scream, fellas. The next issue of Maxim is just like all the others. Big 5 coupons. Don't need it, don't need it, don't need it, don't need it. Political mayhem. Click here for the latest in the Kamala campaign. Click here for the latest in the Kamala Trump showdown. Delete, 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 unsubscribe, unsubscribe. This is how I start my day. Unsubscribe, unsubscribe. But have you played this unsubscribe game where they ask why? Hey, what do you care? Let's just say goodbye. Let's go our separate ways. Spam email. They sometimes say, allow 3 to 4 days to process. Okay? You go, no. This is 2024. I don't think it takes 4 days to process anything. What are you talking about? You need a reason. I have 8 options, and there's always other. I always click other. Why am I even wasting this time? I don't know, but allow 3 to 4 days so we can process this. One company sent me an email. I'm not making this up. A a few days ago sent me an email to say unsubscription was successful. And then 2 hours later, a follow-up email to ask if I received the confirmation. They're messing with me, right? They have to be fucking with me. They have to be these tech bros who are like, all right, I handle the unsubscriptions. It's one of my favorite ways to mess with people. I unsubscribe. Here's 8 options why. They need to know why. They tell me it's 3 to 4 days to process. Even that I'm okay with. But when they emailed me back, oh shit, I lost my mind. When they emailed me back to say unsubscription was successful, we want you to know that. And then a follow-up asking, dear Mr. Rosenberg, did you receive the What do you need to know that shit for? What are we doing? I don't think I'm going to play this game anymore. I think I'm wasting the precious minutes I get in my life. Unsubscribe. And if you think I'm going to change my email address, you're wrong. All right? I'm always going to be available at joshrosenberg81 at yahoo.com. Yahoo. I need to buy new pillows. I'm just looking at my bed right now. This has plagued me for a very long time. I've had a stiff neck for 3 years and I didn't know why. This is the definition of a dumb guy. Hey, you got a stiff neck and you don't know why? You playing a lot of sports? No, virtually none. You're not playing any sports? No. I mean, sometimes I gently go on the elliptical at the Y and lift light weights, but nah. There's no reason for the stiff neck. And then my wife looked at my pillows and she said, have you ever had other pillows? And we both stood there looking at these dirty, raggedy mounds of goose feather. And I said, I don't know. I actually don't know. My wife asks if I'm 43, if I've ever had any other pillows. Like, did I just take these off to college in 1999 and now it's 2024 and I'm 43 and I have no memory of having other pillows aside from these dirty, damaged mounds of garbage I put my head on every night and I have neck pain every day? Sometimes you need someone to reflect your idiocy right back in your face and then you go, oh, I need new pillows. And then what happens is you Google pillows and then sure, I'll subscribe to your newsletter, which I'll have to unsubscribe from in 2 weeks. But your newsletter about which pillows I should have, and then I'll go on Amazon and waste 3 days reading reviews about pillows when really you just got to walk into a store that has pillows and put your head on the pillow. But where are the stores that sell pillows? Honestly, what comes to mind? If I say, where's a store that sells pillows? You say Bed Bath & Beyond. There's no more of those. You say, what, Macy's Furniture? They have no pillows. Last time I went there, like, we're all out of pillows. Target, Kohl's, their pillows, I don't know, they're terrible. Maybe I should use some of that Kohl's cash. But I got to step up my pillow game. I've realized that because my insomnia has reached a level where every single night I'm up for 2 to 3 hours. I know I've whined about this and I'll continue whining about it, but I just signed up for a Kaiser class. Folks, I'm going to take care of this. It's a 4-class sign up. Each class is 2 hours online. And it says by the end of it, I'll have a 90% success rate. You know I'll be in the 10%. Complaining that, why wasn't I in the 90? But CBTI, cognitive behavioral therapy. I'm going back to therapy, and the I stands for insomnia. And why am I having so much insomnia? Because I get songs stuck in my head like "Let Me Clear My Throat," and "Come on, Ride the Train" is the choo-choo ride it. You know that one gets stuck in your head too. And loop and loop, and it loops in my head, and 2:05 becomes 2:15 a.m., and that becomes 2:55 a.m., and that becomes 3:15 a.m., and I'm up until 4 because come on, ride the train. There's no part of the song that's a bridge, that's a chorus. It's just dooch-teet, 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 come on, ride the train. And then you start picturing those freak trains from the late 90s at the TL gym. It's dark and dusty in here, a little bit sweaty as well. Hey, folks, find a partner. It's time for a freak train to come on, ride the train. Is the choo-choo ride it? Oh, it's weird to have songs stuck in your head that you haven't listened to in years. Here's also a memory I had many years ago, and I don't know why it stays with me, but it's one of the funniest things I can remember happening in radio. There was a time where we launched this new big radio station. I did a show like late morning, 10 to noon or 10 to 1, and then I stayed on with the host who came on after me. I was like his sidekick. I did a solo show, and then I became a sidekick, and then I did updates. It was like I lived at the radio station, but I didn't want it any other way. That's what I wanted. I wanted to live sports radio. I'll do all the hours. I'll work all the holidays. I'll do all the shifts. I'll cover all the sports. I guess that's how you ascend in any career. You just say, I'm available. I'm easy to work with. You could pay me dog shit. Hey, I'll ascend in radio. It's not a great precedent to set, but terrestrial radio will be completely extinct in about, 15 years? So the guy who came on after me, I liked a lot. He was a sweet guy. He was kind of unpredictable, I guess you could say, on the air. But off the air, just a nice guy. And he was in the game for a while, a radio vet. He's the type of guy who did minor league hockey play-by-play. Do you know how much you have to love sports announcing to do minor league hockey? You go on the road with a minor league hockey team, Bakersfield over to San Leandro, or taking a road trip to Wichita. I mean, just on the bus with minor league hockey players, but you deliver it with the passion of the Stanley Cup Finals. His name was Chris Ello. So Chris Ello was on the air, and then at the commercial breaks, they would give you a binder full of your reads. These are your endorsements. This is the way people in radio make money. You pause your show, you go to the commercial break, and then you come back on. They call it a live spot, and your producer goes, you're on in 3, 2, 1. Hey, it's Josh Rosenberg for Sleep Train. Get on down right now. The Tempur-Pedic mattress has me just in the clouds. I'm sleeping great, and the pillows that I'm using are just complete piles of garbage. No, you say the Tempur-Pedic pillows, you lie to the listeners and tell them all the products are the best products. You just tell the listeners all the products are the best products. Or you tell them something's happening this weekend. Hey, come and join me down at Joe's Hot Barbecue Pit. We're going to be giving away beef ribs and koozies from 3 to 6. Join me for the Michigan-Ohio State game. It'll put your name in the hopper. We got a raffle going on, and the Chargers girls are going to stop by for photos, a bunch of stuff to draw you into a bar or a restaurant. Well, Chris Ello, I'll never forget this, and I don't know why. I think about it often. He was doing a live read, and you could tell he had never read it before, and it was about San Diego's Sports Arena hosting Sesame Street Live. Hey, it's Chris Ello. This upcoming Saturday at 6 p.m., San Diego Sports Arena is the place to be because they're all coming down. Bring your family at Sesame Street Live. And then he said, quote, there'll be Bert, there'll be Ernie, there'll be Elmo, there'll be the Cookie Monster, there'll be Big Bird. And he was going through all the names because that's what it said in the binder. Right there on that typed out sheet of paper. You're just supposed to read it. You're supposed to sound like extemporaneous. You're supposed to sound like you're just kind of freewheeling, like off the top of your head. Hey, there's going to be Bert, Ernie, Elmo. The kids are going to love it. Cookie Monster. They're going to be singing the hits. And then he goes, it'll be Big Bird and Sufflepogus too. And I look at the producer, Mark Priceman, and he looks at me and we're like, who's Sufflepogus? He said, Sufflepogus. And we're thinking, Chris, this is a Sesame Street character we've never heard of. You got Bert, you got Ernie, Elmo, Big Bird, and Sufflepogus. And when he said Sufflepogus, we all kind of looked around like, what's happening? What does it say on the live read? This is a big deal. What does it say on the live read? He meant Snuffleupagus. You remember that big old elephant with that big old trunk? And he didn't know, oh, my bad. Or, hold on, I mispronounced that. He just kept steamrolling right through the live read. And he said Sufflepogus a few more times. And I'm like, holy shit, this is brilliant. Like, can we create a drop out of this? Can we just edit this sound and use it for the rest of our lives? It's just so wonderful. Does Chris know what Sesame Street is? Has he ever actually heard of Snuffleupagus? And we had all these questions. And at the break, he didn't even realize what he was saying. You're just in autopilot mode. He's like, oh, Sufflepogus. Sorry, I misread that. I was going too fast. Yeah, it clearly says Snuffleupagus. But there are those moments where you're just going through the motions in your job. I think everybody knows what this means. You're just going through the motions, and most days you could do it pretty well, right? Muscle memory. You put in enough hours in the workplace. There are some days you're not mailing it in. I don't want to say you're just mailing it in and coasting, but some people are able to just, hey, get on down to Sleep Train, yet that day. Hey, Sesame Street at the San Diego Sports Arena, da. And he's like, Big Bird and Elmo and Sufflepogus. And we're just like, oh, shit. So the word Sufflepogus is also in my brain, just like come and ride the train and let me clear my throat. There are some things like that. It's weird how memory works. I don't even know. How does the brain retain certain things? Like in third grade, you could remember one day. It was a Tuesday and something happened in an assembly. And you can remember that to this day, but you can't remember what you had for breakfast this morning. I don't understand this human brain. I don't understand the software we're dealing with between the ears, pal. Okay? I do not get it. It's also amazing to think about How many days you just lived your life at school and didn't articulate anything to your parents back in the latchkey days? I mean, parents will say, hey, how was your day? Or what'd you do at school today? Most kids give the opposite of a thorough report. Most kids don't give you shit when it comes to information. Hey, do you have a high and a low? Hey, what'd you learn in science today? Hey, what are you crunching in math? Any equations stand out to you? Hey, after the Pledge of Allegiance, tell me, what are you guys reading? You never get like a clear answer from a kid who's 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 years old. You know, even probably high school kids aren't coming home and be like, Mom, Dad, in science today we did a lab. No one's reporting anything back to their parents. What are my memories going to be of my daughters going to Vallecito? I don't know. Good drop-offs. You see all the parents, all different types of parents. Navigate that shit however you can. Right? I mean, you start to get into the rat race of life where you're like, all right, here's where you see that kind of parent. You give them the wave. Oh, there's that kind of parent. Here's all the types of parents at a school drop-off. You can relate to this. If you have little kids and you do the drop-offs at elementary school, here's all the types. And tell me if I'm right. Tell me if I'm wrong. You can email me at joshrosenberg81@yahoo.com. It's always going to be my email address. Give me some feedback. Drop a rating. There's the cool dad with the tats. You've seen cool dad at drop-off who talks to his kid, not in a kid-like voice, but just like, come on, pal. Come on, we're going to be late. Neck tats. You've seen this guy? Cool sunglasses, short shorts. He's showing a lot of thigh nowadays. He's got those like low tops, like Keds with the anklets. Maybe not Keds, maybe Vans. I don't know. His hair's like perfectly gelled. Neck tat guy who's ripped. I mean, he's totally strong, and he's just talking to his son in a way that he would talk to his fellas at the sports bar. Hey, bud, you got everything you need in your backpack? Okay. What do we talk about? Kindness, right? All right, follow me. Cool dad at drop-off. You say hi to him, he just gives you a quick nod. Hey, how are you? That's me. Hey, how's it going? Hey, I'm very meek at drop-off. Hey, good to see you. Good morning. Yeah, good morning. And cool dad's just like, sup? There's prom hair mom. You've all seen prom hair mom. Very done up. Glamorous even. For the morning drop-off, most of us just roll out. What do we brush our teeth, find an outfit, get the eye crust out of the way, and just race to school. It's amazing we all get out of the door. If you have little kids, getting food in them, getting them to brush their teeth, brush their hair, get dressed. It's amazing we show up on time, but we do. It's a little feat every day. But prom hair mom? Who's prom hair mom with all the makeup? The glamour shots. Where do you go after this, prom hair mom? Is this the pinnacle of the day? You going anywhere else? Oh, boy. And I appreciate her. You know, she puts on a show for everyone. Who else? There's the so pissed off at their kid's parent. I think we find that person to be abrasive, tough to look at, but relatable at the same time. We're like, oof, you're bringing that angry energy at 8:08 a.m. Shit. But we get it. The angry parent who can't filter it. The angry parent who can't stifle it anymore. Just so pissed at their kids. So angry from the jump. Irritated with everything the kid says. You know, the kid's like not being irritating, and the parent's just like, no, I specifically said we do not walk on the wet grass. God damn it, Kelly, get over here. And you're like, oh, that is transference. There's something going on, and it's about to erupt. Angry parent is fine, though. You know, but the overly social parent, if we're going to go through all the parents you see at drop-off, overly social parent, yikes, always wants to make plans. Hey, Josh, yeah, what about the water slides this week? I'm like, where are the water slides? No, it's a good old-fashioned no. Always trying to lock in some plans. Get the families together, huh? Maybe some Domino's and pizza. Oh, fuck, no. No, just say good morning, overly social parents. I know our kids like each other, but they see each other every single day. I know what you're thinking. I'm too antisocial. But there's other Joshes out there. There's other antisocial parents. Look at the drop-off. Besides cool dad and prom hair mom, angry parent and overly social parent, there's a lot of Joshes who are just so antisocial. They're friendly, though. They're friendly. You get your good morning in with a smile, and you zip back to your car. Those are the people that help the rhythm of the week just continue on its path. The routine rhythm. Hey, good morning. And you could even say something about the weather or the Niner game. Or maybe even something's coming up like a holiday we're looking forward to. Yeah, Halloween should be quite a scene out there. All right, great. You don't fuck with people and say, hey, Friday night around 7 p.m., what's your family doing? You're like, I don't know, for the first time maybe sitting on a couch because we just float through the week and fast forward. God, don't lock me up right now. Don't you dare. drop an RSVP moment on me. Please, God. Please, dear. Who else? I kind of like going through this list. Oh, then there's the grandparent. The grandparent who's doing the job. The grandparent who's flustered with everything. So if that's the parking lot, that's the flagpole, when does the librarian come out with the tray of milk? No. It's not 1962. Grandpa, with your cardigan, your button-up cardigan. There is a grandpa drop-off. He's so tall and skinny. This is a specific one for you. You probably don't have tall and skinny grandpa with a white bushy mustache. And he is always frantic. He's always in a rush. He runs. This is a grandpa who or maybe he walks fast. But you could tell, even though it's probably not his scene, he's doing a favor for someone. It just looks like he's doing a favor for a son or a daughter, and he's doing it well. He also looks like the type of guy who would beat the shit out of you in front of the flagpole with the librarian watching. Like, he throws a nice left hook that he learned in World War II, fighting the Nazis. And he brings that same soldier energy to drop off. God damn it, I respect you. Grandpa ain't going to ask me to go play dominoes and have some kimchi Korean barbecue on Friday. No, sir. No, sir. High school kids are gambling. All right. I'm gambling too. All right. I shouldn't say that, but why so many apps and sites? And Thursday night football becomes Monday night football becomes Sunday night football becomes Major League Baseball playoffs becomes NBA is starting. I should just learn to enjoy sports again at face value. Just, hey, I enjoy watching the athleticism and the competition, but gambling, oh, it draws me in. And I hear the kids in the hall. Hey, you got the under on the Bills and Jets? I go, oh no. No one's checking your age on the apps. What kind of money are you working? Well, some kids in high school work. This is what they want to do with their money. Offshore sites, not .coms. We're talking about .ags, .kps. They're gambling. They just are. Are we going to stop it? I don't think so. They play poker. Sure. Play a little pie gow if they want. I don't even know if it's totally illegal. Is it? Is offshore gambling illegal? I know there's some sites that you can't go on in California, but this is kind of what happens with sport. That's why fantasy's so big. How many people actually care about the winner and the loser of a game? A lot. I'd say 50%. And then the other 50's just got a bunch of props, parlays, over-unders, spreads going on. I went to the Niners-Cardinals game with some friends. It was great. Good seats. We were in the shade, had a good time. But afterwards, the Niners lost a heartbreaker, and I was like, do I truly care? I didn't gamble on the game. I was just like, let's appreciate being at a live NFL game with good seats, lots of food. And I kind of gauged my group. I was like, are we upset? And the answer was, no, let's just get in the car and try to beat traffic and get home at a reasonable hour to be with our kids. I don't know. I mean, I care. I like Aztec sports, but a loss doesn't really hit me hard like it used to. But a gambling loss, oh, that'll kick you square in the nuts. Maybe I'm a sensory seeker. Yeah, maybe I'm still drawn, because sports is going to be on TV. Sports for the rest of my life. That's what has to be on the TV. But if I don't care that much, like let's say the Warriors just lose a random Thursday night game to the Blazers, that doesn't matter that much. I've seen them win championships. I've seen them have last place seasons. But if the Warriors and Suns can combine for over 177 tonight and every bucket matters, it sounds fun. It's true. Cheering for an over is fun. Cheering for a parlay. I need Aaron Rodgers to have one more touchdown before the quarter's over. It's fun. But then you look back, you go, oops. You don't want to neglect the family too much. And that's when it becomes a problem, because every NFL game says, have a problem, call this number. No one's calling the number. Has anyone ever called the number? Have a problem at a casino, call this number. No one's ever called the number. What would happen if you called the gambling addiction number? It'd be like the unsubscribe guys. Yeah, we'll process that in 3 to 4 days. We'll get back to you. And then we probably won't confirm anything. How about that? Keep the dice rolling. Oh, boy. What episode is this? Do you even know? It's 244. It's 244 of these. I've been doing this, I don't know, almost 7 years. I want to do more, but I have zero mental energy this time of night. What's happening right now? I don't know. I got a stack of books I should start reading. I got magazines. I'm not even up to date on the Sunday newspaper. What is it right now? It's Tuesday, Wednesday. I don't know what day it is. October 14 or 15 or 16, one of them. And I haven't even gotten to Sunday's newspaper or all these Atlantics. I've been meaning to talk about one of the Atlantic articles that is heartbreaking. It's beyond heartbreaking. It's like a 30-page article, too. Is that even an article at that point, or did I read a book? The Atlantic is a lot. I mean, it's such high-level journalism. It makes you feel so good about humanity. You're like, humans over bots. Because I know AI one day will just be all the news. Artificial intelligence will be all the reporting and all the editorializing. It'll just be AI. But right now we still have humans doing embedded journalism at such a high level. And maybe it was the article I read that triggered the dream, but I had the dream, this was 1 week ago, that it was all over. Has anyone ever had this nightmare? It's so jarring. The nightmare that we're going to be invaded, attacked, and all of our systems are just going to crumble. The scariest dream I've ever had. Honestly, I've had a lot of nightmares, but nothing like this. Being attacked, seeing the airplanes. I was in some field, soldiers, foreign soldiers just coming at me. Maybe it was the news I was consuming. There's a lot in the news right now, from Israel to Ukraine. It's just like, if you consume the news and then go to sleep, you're fucked. It just seeps into your REM. But in this dream, we were successfully taken over. There were weapons. It was traumatic. There was a point in the dream where I was telling my family, it's over. Everything we know, we have to start over. I teach this sad history, and sometimes, it's just on slides. Hey, we're going to read a primary source, and students are having that emotionless response to hearing about these massacres and atrocities and takeovers and revolutions and rebellions. But I had a dream it was happening to us. Like, we're done. America, the beautiful democracy is done. We're totally taken over, and a lot of us are going to be killed. Oh, shit. It gives you compassion. You wake up from that and you try to, recalibrate into your day, and you're like, okay, I'm feeling disoriented, but the compassion that dream made me feel was crazy. Knowing that death is an option right now. I mean, it's an option for everybody always, but for these people right now, they're not able to focus on, all right, what's new on Netflix tonight? They have to focus on, hey, is the building we're living in going to be blown up? And are the little kids going to be able to get a good night's sleep in this area? There's a lot of people under attack right now. It's just so freaking scary. But let me go back to this Atlantic article. It's about the Darien Gap. Has anyone ever even heard of that? Before I explain this article, have you even heard what this is? I should explain it, and then I don't even have to analyze it. It'll just hit you in the heart. But these are real families trying to get to America. So we're talking about immigration. They know it's a coin flip. We going to make it? I don't know. But they're fleeing something that's so highly undesirable that the idea of America is going to pull them into these jungles that the UN says avoid, avoid, avoid. Beyond dangerous route. Darien Gap. Look it up. Darien. It could be like 10 days. And the journalist who covered this story was like describing the little kids. And I have a 6-year-old and a 3-year-old. And I'm the type of parent that's like, we still spell murder. Like, if we're talking about some heavy stuff, we still go MURDER, or we spell swear words in front of them. We're like shielding them from anything dangerous. Yet these are parents that are dragging their kids through the jungle to find a better life. Depending on so many factors, will they ever see the other side? Not just weather. The weight of their bags. There's also the idea of disease, just thieves, robbers, burglars, killers, rapists. I mean, this area, it's all crime, and not to mention wildlife, floods, violence at all times, competing with other families who are trying to get through this area. These migrants coming from so many different countries. It makes you realize how many different countries there are out there that idealize what's happening here on the soil I'm living right now. It said they were coming from not just South America, but Haiti, places in Africa, Ethiopia, India, Brazil, Ecuador, Venezuela. Just hoping to get here. Children under 5, 4, 3-year-olds changing diapers on the run. It was the most intense article. Like, I read it in intervals. And I know it got into my dreams. I know it. But also, after the article, there's this experience where you close the magazine, you put it back on your coffee table, and then you look up and you see your world. And it's only about, 1 to 2 minutes before I reorient with my world. And then that article just stays on those pages in a magazine. But you're like, no, those aren't pages in a magazine. Those are the lives of many. We're the same species. We're talking about Homo sapiens, humans who are suffering at this level. Shit, right? I don't even have any way to end this observation, but it's good to get kicked with some perspective. It's good. And then pray for people, whatever that means. You don't have to be religious to pray for people. Some people think it's too minimal to just say, man, and I pray things improve. What am I saying when I say I pray? If you don't believe in God, can you still pray? Sure, I guess so. If you don't believe in God, can you still go into synagogue and pray to God on the high holidays? Yeah, I say, sure, I did it. For the Jews, this was big. October, Rosh Hashanah to Yom Kippur. Rosh Hashanah is the Jewish New Year. It's 5785. You thought it was 2024. I love how the Jews in America go, all right, happy 5785. Happy Jewish New Year. Yeah, what day are you going to temple? I'm going October 2nd, 2024. Well, you're going to go celebrate Happy New Year 5785 in 2024? I am. And what are these numbers anyway? None of them are actual years. How long has the Earth been around? A little bit longer than 5785 or 2024? Yeah, much longer. But we're just letting these old stories guide us into how we label the day, the week, the month, the year, whatever. Hey, we're playing the game. High holidays. So we show up, we dip the apples in the honey. And then for Yom Kippur, oh, there was a kids service. And I don't know why. I want to connect to something. Maybe that's what people get drawn to when it comes to religion, because you could go full throttle into religion, radical religion, or you could just kind of ease off the pedal and say, yeah, I like that holiday, pick and choose. I kind of like that custom. I like that ritual. I like that tradition. All right, I'm going to fast. I do it every year. I fast on Yom Kippur, which is so hard. As I get older, you just get tired, you hallucinate, you get confused. Oh, dad's fasting. And we went to temple, and the girls dressed up in formal wear. It was so cute. They put on these dresses. They did their hair. They got those fancy bedazzled glitter shoes on, and we drove to temple with all the other families. I put on a yarmulke, and it was like one of those musical services that was supposed to be good for kids. And like 5 minutes into it, I look at my daughter Mila, and she just stared at me and went, I'm bored. And I went, yes, exactly. And I said to her verbatim, I said, yes, that's exactly right. Boredom is part of Judaism. And my wife overheard that, and she's like, boredom is part of Judaism? And I was like, yes. 100%. We can't make everything so exciting for kids. We've got to bore the shit out of them with religion, right? At first, I don't care what religion you are, Catholic, Christian, Muslim, Jewish, whatever you are. If you were put into a temple to pray at like age 6, how fucking bored were you? It's not like you were buying in like, yes, higher power, hear my voice, hear the hymns, hear the prayers. No, you're like, all right, we sat down. We got a book, we said hello to a few families. Now let's get the fuck out. If you're 6 years old, you're like, let's go play. Monkey bars, slides, swings. And in that moment, I was like, nice. Like it felt, now that was the cultural connection I was waiting for. If my daughter was like, this is amazing. I really loved what the rabbi had to say today. And man, the cantor was really on point. I'd be like, what's wrong with you? Of course we should be bored as shit. The high holidays, oh my God. Brutally boring. Brutally, but now I'm 43. Here's how old I am. I enjoy it, just sitting there in this meditative trance. There's something about it. I don't know. I think this happens to a lot of people. They get all excited with Sam Harris or Bill Maher. They get all excited with their New Age podcast. And then sometimes you're like, I kind of miss that aspect of the religion that was forced down my throat as a kid. And you kind of dance around it. You get back to it here and there. And you're like, what am I going to do with my kids? That becomes a big question. What am I going to say? God's real? You develop your own thoughts about God? Hey, we'll light the candles here. We'll give gifts there. We'll talk about what this big piece of matzah means. We'll light some Hanukkah. I mean, what are we doing with kids? Letting them develop their own sense of the world? Or are we just going to relay our own customs to them? I don't know. I actually don't have the answer to this, but I do know that I was bored as shit as a kid. To see Mila bored, I mean, immediately my wife took her outside, which is what a good parent does. I say no. I was like, let's keep her here for another 40 minutes. And then they found a really kid-friendly event downstairs, because that's what we're doing with kids, aren't we? We're making everything so kid-friendly. I mean, I think school's more fun than it's ever been. I mean, kids might still be bored, but I think it's way more fun than it used to be. I think religion, trying to draw you in, that seems to be more fun. We got to package it for you. Cartoons, animation, music, anything that we remember from when we were kids, it's more fun now. We don't even give kids the option or ability to experience boredom. And there's the value of religion, folks. I don't even think I made a point. Nope. No, I didn't. Are we ready for this election? Should we end with that? Are we ready? I don't know. Isn't it all a game? Did anyone see? Here's what I thought it was just all a game. I'll end with this. So I watched the Trump and Kamala debate. I think a lot of people watched the Trump and Kamala debate. And afterwards, you're like, we don't need any more of that. No thanks. I don't need like 5 more debates. We get it by now. Everyone is perfectly casted in their role. But the next morning was a 9/11 memorial in New York City. They were at Ground Zero, I think, commemorating the casualties and lives lost on 9/11. And at one point, Kamala and Trump shook hands. And I'm like watching two wrestlers, who hate each other, take a moment of humanity to just shake hands. Maybe it was the moment 9/11, but maybe I thought deeper on it. I got a little too deep with it. I was like, Kamala and Trump just shook hands. And it didn't look like a hate-filled handshake. I've seen hate-filled handshakes. This looked like, hey, I know what you're doing. You know what I'm doing. We both need each other. You know what I mean? Like for her to gain some ground, she got to stomp on Trump, make fun of Trump, tell the world that Trump is wrong. And for him to gain some ground, I mean, come on. He knows the playbook. He'll say a bunch of shit. She'll take your guns. Israel won't exist. You elect this lady, the country just crumbles. You elect her, the country goes into the toilet and it's flushed away. And now she's got to play that game too. But I think it's almost like professional wrestling in the sense like people are invested. There's still adults that like professional wrestling to this day. Not just little kids like me when I was 10 years old who liked The Ultimate Warrior and the Hulkster, but there are adults who know that it's scripted, who know it's not real, like the behavior in the ring, the mood in the ring, the characters they're playing. They know it's not real, but they're like, I'm still showing up, and I still fucking hate the opponent, and I love my guy wear his belt. That's a lot of people who are about to vote. They're into politics, and they've picked this side of allegiance. But deep down, don't we all kind of know it's a bunch of bullshit? Don't we all kind of know that this face of presidency, it's not like the all-powerful dictator, that we have three branches of balanced government, at least we're supposed to? So we overhype this human. Whoever's going to win this election, we're going to overhype it for a while, and I know there's going to be ramifications, and I know there's going to be consequences. Whoever wins, there will be changes. But this idea that the person that occupies the White House, they are single-handedly going to lift us up to prominence and live up to all their promises. Everyone eats, jobs for everybody. We're going to make everyone feel safe and secure and happy. That's the promise. I don't think so. I don't think you're capable of that. Or on the flip side, whoever occupies the White House, if it's not the person you like, not the person you vote for, they're going to fuck your life up. They're going to destroy your livelihood. You're going to have no chance of survival. No, we have a whole thing called Congress. We have a whole thing called the Supreme Court. We have a lot going on. I understand we're getting into that Venn diagram. How do they control that branch? How do they check the other branch? How do they check that? I get it with the appointment of judges and the veto bills. I'm teaching it right now, so I'm relearning it. I think we all need to take a government class every few years just to go, okay, let's get reacquainted with who's really in charge. Are we the people in charge? Sometimes I feel like we're not in charge at all, but we'll see. It's going to be a hectic little wrestling show on November 5th. But after that, I hope, no matter who wins, I hope we all just wake up, take a breath, and realize there are term limits. Democracy is always changing. It's just 4 years. 4 years seems long, but no matter who it is, I think we all need to give ourselves that personal speech. It's going to be fine. We're going to be fine. All right? Let's all just say it. We're going to be fine. All right. I love you all. I appreciate you listening to this nonsense. Leave a nice rating or review. This episode's in the books, folks. I'll talk to you soon.